everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Today we are building a stylish Christmas family home. Thank you very much for joining me today for this awesome speed build, if I do say so myself. I'm really happy with how this came out. This house took a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. It took a lot of work and a lot of indecisiveness and not really knowing where to go with it on my part, and I think I did this in about 5 sittings, so it's definitely, I don't know, it was more of a project than I'd realised, and it's really not a very big house at all. It's probably just a regular sized house, but for some reason it stumped me a lot of the time, and then I wasn't feeling very inspired by it, and then I don't know, so I just kept going in and sort of working on it as and when I felt inspired to. So I did it over the space of about, I think, 4 or 5 days, which is unusual for me, because if I've got something in my head that I'm really excited about, which I was with this, then I'll just sort of do it in 1 or 2 days max. But to take 4 or 5 days for me, it was very unusual, but I'm glad I stuck with it because I think it turned out quite nicely. It's definitely as it sounds. It's a stylish Christmas family house. So I've done the traditional Christmas homes and I've done the traditional Christmas apartments and things like that, and I thought it would be kind of cool to do a house that was quite modern but family friendly and festive, but not too sort of in your face festive. And that's what we did with this house, and I'm really happy with how it came out because it's not, I didn't use a lot of Christmas items to get across the Christmas theme that we were going for, which is kind of nice. And this is me on the outside working out a colour palette. Now, I knew I wanted to do black, white, grey with a hint of wood. And the hint of wood is literally just the columns at the front of the house, which you might be thinking, oh, they look a bit out of place. However, the picture that I used from, drumroll please, Pinterest, obviously. The picture that I used from Pinterest was pretty much identical to this. Obviously I made changes here and there like I usually do, but it was black and white and it looked like a converted kind of farmhouse, and I'm not sure whether that's the vibe this house gives off. But anyway, that's a completely different story altogether. But the wooden columns that I've just put in there, they were on the picture and I thought they looked quite nice in the picture. Now I'm kind of umming and ahhing now and looking back as to whether or not they look good in this house in particular in The Sims, but I've left them as they are just for a little bit of character, something a bit different, I guess. But yeah, here we are. This is me working on the outside of the house and not really knowing what to put where, because initially I started building in summer because I tend to build in summer when it's sunny. Summer when it's sunny, obviously, and just so that I can sort of get a better idea of what the plants and trees look like in the front of the house. Then I think I decided, it was actually quite funny because this house wasn't initially going to be a festive home at all. And then when I started working on the living room inside, I put a Christmas tree in, and then I decided this is going to be a festive house. So it was quite funny, really. And then I nipped outside and I think I put like 2 Christmas things outside, and then I got my sim to hang the lights outside as well using that attic box thing. Attic box. What is an attic box? I don't even know. I'm sorry, it's Sunday afternoon and I'm feeling a bit sleepy today, so my voiceover might not be the best. But this is when I started kind of falling in love with the house, especially the front of the house there. I really, really, really liked it. And then, as I said, we went into the living room, started decorating. I put a Christmas tree down and I was like, oh, I could turn this into like a really sophisticated, stylish family Christmas house. So that's what we ended up doing, and that Christmas tree in the living room is what started this whole thing off, which I think is quite funny. So yeah, it wasn't initially going to be a Christmas house, and then now it is, and I'm going to stop saying Christmas house because I've said it about 1 million times. So we end up changing the season again and starting to build in winter because I wanted to get the vibes going, you know, just to keep the creative juices flowing. And yeah, I do really like this house. I think it's quite cute. The floor plan inside's kind of weird. There are 2 bedrooms downstairs, and then upstairs is just the master bedroom and a bathroom. And in the living room here, I saw this really cool image. I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was on Instagram, and this house in real life had a fireplace up on a platform, and I thought that looked kind of awesome. So that's what we did here in this house. That's really the only, well, it's the only platform that goes into this house. I'm still getting used to the whole platform tool feature. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think it's amazing, but I think I'm kind of scared to use it because I don't want to use it. I don't not want to use it wrong, but I don't want to use it wrong and make the build not look very good. So I think I'm a little bit scared to use it, but I think I need to start using it more just because I think it can really add quite a lot of depth to a house. And yeah, this living room, I'm telling you, it was really hard to choose a colour palette for the living room, but I was trying to be inspired by the outside of the build, so keeping quite muted tones, because I was just thinking in my head this has to be quite homey, quite modern, quite stylish. And so I had that in my head the whole time, and I think it threw me off just a bit. And then once I decided that it was going to be a Christmas house, I just start going like absolutely nuts with everything, which is, I mean, it's awesome. I love building Christmas houses. That is absolutely no secret. So if you know me as a person or know me as a builder, you know that I absolutely love doing Christmas houses. So that's what it turned into. And I figured I might only be doing 1 or 2, maybe 3 more Christmas houses before Christmas. So I thought this was kind of a perfect opportunity to sort of tick another one off the list, sort of thing. So yeah, so that's what we did here. But this living room looks so awesome. It ends up looking awesome. It looks a little bit iffy right now, so if you're watching thinking, oh, okay, I'm not quite sure about it right now, trust me, it comes together. It absolutely comes together. So if you've come from Tumblr, you've probably already seen the interior shots, and I did post some on Twitter as well. So if you've come from either of those platforms and that's how you've seen this speed build, then you've already seen what the inside looks like, and I think it looks really quite nice. It's definitely, I don't know whether it's my personal style. I think it's got hints of my personal style in. I don't know. It's maybe a bit, I don't know, the colour palette's maybe not quite colourful enough for me. I love like turquoises and hints of colour here and there, but not too much. Anyway, I'm sure I'm boring you now already. So let's talk about something a little bit more interesting. Let's talk about what your plans are for Christmas. So I'll go, obviously, because I'm the only one speaking, but my family and I are going to my sister's house for Christmas this year, which we normally go to my mum and dad's house, and then on Boxing Day we usually go to my husband's parents' house. So that's normally how that works. But this year we're going to my sister's house for Christmas, and she is cooking. I'm gonna like pause for a few seconds so that you can have a guess at what she's cooking, and it's not a traditional Christmas dinner. And I'm sort of playing this, not playing a game, but like when I'm telling people outside of, obviously, you know, at work or wherever, what, like, take a guess what I'm having for Christmas dinner, and no one's guessed it right so far. So I'm going to let you guys just have a think for a few seconds. What do you think I'm having for Christmas dinner this year? And it's kind of cool because it's something that we've never done before, and I think with this year being how it has been, it's kind of fitting that this is what we're doing for Christmas. It's something a bit different, because why not? You know, let's do something a bit different this year, because let's face it, 2020 has been a bit of a weird one. So we're actually having chili for Christmas dinner, and it turns out now my husband's family are coming to our house for Boxing Day, and there's going to be 9 people in our house on Boxing Day, plus our 2 dogs. So it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. So initially we were just going to have my husband's parents round, and we were going to do a traditional Christmas dinner because we weren't having one on Christmas Day. and now there's 9 people, he doesn't really fancy, I mean, fair play to him, like I wouldn't do it either. He doesn't really want to make Christmas dinner for 9 people because that's going to be a lot of work. So now it turns out I don't think I'm going to be having Christmas dinner at all this year unless we have it on Christmas Eve. But I'm working on Christmas Eve, so I don't really know how that's going to work. Now I'm going to stop rambling, but yeah, we're having chili for Christmas dinner. Comment down below if you're having something other than Christmas dinner this year, because it'd be kind of interesting to sort of find out what everyone's sort of doing and what everyone's plans are, especially since I know in England the restrictions have been lifted slightly just for over Christmas. So yeah, what are you guys doing for Christmas? It's going to be kind of interesting to hear, but that's what I'm doing anyway. And so as you can see here, the living room has pretty much come together now, and we're now working on the kitchen. So this is what I mean about the house being a little bit weird in terms of the floor plan. So the kitchen is actually quite small because the focus for this house is definitely the living space as opposed to the kitchen. So, and with me having to fit 2 bedrooms downstairs, I didn't really see another option, especially considering the shape of the house, and that is completely my fault. But this is the kitchen. It does end up being quite nice. I don't think it's one of the best kitchens that I've built, but it's cute, you know, it keeps the theme running, and we put some little Christmassy items here and there as well. And we're using these absolutely gorgeous counters from the Snowy Escape pack, and I absolutely love these counters. I think they work in pretty much any house. Even a traditional one, I think they would work, obviously depending on how you use them. But yeah, I love them so much, and I'm so glad that we got Christmas counters with that expansion pack, because I feel like Christmas counters have been something that have been quite overdue. You know, we haven't had any really in a pack for a while. So yeah, I'm glad that the Sims team decided to include counters in the latest pack. And as I said, this is just me sort of going in and adding some festive items, but again, trying not to go too over the top, trying to keep the colour palette the same, and I'm hoping that, you know, we kind of achieve that. Obviously the tiny little Christmas tree on the table there is something that I do in a lot of my Christmas builds. I size down a Christmas tree and then put it on either a counter or a table. I don't know, it's kind of like something that I do, so it'd be weird if I didn't do it. So it's like not like a trademark thing, but definitely something that I want to make sure is in pretty much all of my festive builds. And we end up actually putting a little bit of clutter underneath the counters as well, because obviously there are item slots under there, which is kind of awesome. But if anyone's kind of like me, and I don't know whether anyone finds building exhausting sometimes, and I think that's why I struggled with this build a bit, because I think it's got quite a lot of detail in it, and cluttering up things sometimes is exhausting for me. So that's why sometimes I have to go away for an hour and then come back. So the kitchen I did about 2 or 3 days after I'd done the rest of the house, I think. Don't quote me, I'm just trying to like think about what I was doing. And then I did the kitchen, and then before I started the bedrooms downstairs, or even the hallway and the bathroom there, I was like, oh, I can't do this today. So I went away for about an hour and a half and ended up watching the US Office, because it's one of my favourite programmes ever. It makes me laugh absolutely hysterically. So I went away and watched that for a bit, and then I came back and I felt a bit more refreshed, and so I ended up finishing the whole house after I'd done, I think, this dining area here. I think I did that, and then I went to go watch The Office. So does anyone else love The Office? It's so funny. It makes me laugh out loud, because it's just so my kind of sense of humour, and I love it so much. So this is the downstairs bathroom. It's, I think, just an average sized bathroom, but it was quite important that I put this in here. Otherwise, we would have just had a bathroom upstairs, and I'm just thinking, if obviously larger sim families are going to be living in this house, and obviously with the bedrooms being catered for 2 child sims, I thought it was quite important to have a bathroom down here. And then this hallway, I don't like it. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I don't like it at all. It's too big, and this is me all over. This is just me and my floor plans, because I'm shocking absolutely shocking with floor plans. And I definitely have a long way to go as a builder, because there are definitely things that I'm not good at, and I will put my hands up and say that, and there are things that I want to improve on. One of them is floor plans, the other one is gardens. You know, we all know that, that's nothing new. But yeah, I don't know, it's just, I think I probably could have utilised the space a little bit better here, and probably, if I'd have thought about it, I probably could have made the upstairs, pulled the upstairs forward or made it bigger, and then brought the stairs forward, so the kitchen would have been bigger and the hallway would have been smaller. But unfortunately, because the floor plan is really weird, as all my floor plans are in all my houses, this is what I was working with, and I kept going back to it and thinking, oh, this is awful. And then I moved on to the children's rooms, which is, as you know, one of my favourite rooms to decorate. A children's room, I absolutely love it. I think you can add so much personality to either, like, toddler rooms are the same, children's rooms, teenage rooms, student rooms. I think there's a lot of items in the packs collectively that allow you to sort of personalise these rooms, and I think that's why I find them so much fun to work on. But this is a quite girly room. You know, there's a lot of pinks and creams in this room, and I absolutely could not help but use this rug from the Snowy Escape pack. And I know I keep banging on about the items from this pack, but I really like them. They're definitely, most of them are completely my style, and I just think they work pretty much in every situation. Like these faux fur I always have trouble saying that, faux fur rugs. I love them so much. I think they look so nice, and I couldn't not use that sort of blush coloured one in this room because it looks so cute, and I am really happy with how this room came out. It's really cozy and it's really sweet, it has a lot of personality, and I really hope you Sims enjoy spending time in here. And I love sizing up this penguin from the Nifty Knitting Stuff pack, and I just think it looks awesome. I love it so much. And we're just trying to clutter up, as always, you know, because everyone knows I love a bit of clutter. I find it exhausting sometimes, but if I'm building something that I absolutely love, then I don't find it exhausting. But for some reason in that kitchen that I built in this house, I found it quite draining. So it was kind of refreshing to come into a room and not find decorating it work. And then we move on to this room. This one is slightly smaller than the other one, just because there's like a little bit of a jut out there that sort of takes away from the space a little bit. But this one's more blue toned, and there are hints of grey and green in here as well, so this ends up being really cute as well. Although in screenshots the pink one looked a lot better than this one did, and I think in game they both look equally as good, which is, I don't know if anyone else finds that, if you're doing a house and you're really happy with how it looks sort of in the game when you're playing, and then you drop down and try and take a screenshot and it doesn't look very good. I don't know if anyone else has that problem, or whether it's just me and me wanting things as perfect as they can be. I don't know. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'm a lot of a perfectionist, so I want everything to be just right, and I want you guys to download my houses and enjoy them, you know, because a lot of hard work goes into them, and I want to make sure that you enjoy them as much as you possibly can. So this room I did in, I don't even know how to word it. I didn't spend as much time on this room as I did on the other room, but I think that's because it's smaller, so that's okay. And I think it's not as cluttered either, so I think that makes a big difference too. And then after this we move on to the upstairs, and I actually really like how the master bedroom came out, which is always a bit of a gamble for my master bedrooms, because they're another thing that I seem to struggle with sometimes I have a hard time with the master bedrooms, but with this one I think it looked really nice. But I think that's a lot to do with the bed that I chose to use, and I think it is a bed from City Living. It's like a 4-poster bed with the drapes over it, and you'll see in this, there we are. I'm sure that's from City Living. Obviously if I'm wrong, someone please correct me, but I'm just trying to go from memory. And then I size up this rug from Tiny Living, which I've never done before, but I thought it looked quite good in this house. I thought it worked really, really well. And just trying to keep the theme of the house going, so you know, the sort of stylish but family friendly cozy feel. And we didn't put any festive decorations in any of the bedrooms because I don't know how common it is, because we don't do it here so much. And I think this year we wanted to try and get some Christmas duvet covers, and we just never ended up doing it. But I think next year, possibly when we're in a new house, because we are looking at moving house next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, we might get some Christmas duvet sets. And maybe like a Christmas bath mat and things, because I love Christmas so much. I'm trying to work out if I prefer Halloween or Christmas, and it's a really close call. But it's like neck and neck. I like them both for different reasons, so it would be kind of hard for me to pick one. But yeah, I just love Halloween so much, and I love Christmas so much, so I'm not going to make a decision right now because that's too much effort. But there was room in this nice bedroom for a vanity unit, which I love putting these vanity units in bedrooms because I have one in my bedroom, and it's like my little area that I used to get ready, and I absolutely love putting them in my Sims houses as well. And we use this really nice chair from Snowy Escape. I'm saying it again. Take a shot every time I say Christmas house and Snowy Escape in this video. You know, then thank me later. And then we're just working on the bathroom upstairs as well. And I'm sat here wondering why I didn't make it an ensuite. I didn't, you know. Oh well, if you want to make it an ensuite, just do some jiggery pokery and put the door in the bedroom and you should be fine. I'm going to leave it here. But thank you so much for joining me here today. This house is available to download from the gallery under my origin ID, which is RachelPedd. Tray files are linked in the description down below. I hope you have a lot of fun using this house if you do decide to download it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you again. Bye.